just like that, as the unpause comes forwards, USA chants begin.
This was by far like the craziest game I've ever played.
EHOME, they know they are very ahead. Now ice. Everybody coming back in for me. Another buyback with the booster travels level 2. They're going on the university's dead. 2 minutes on the clock.
I don't really think we had much business winning this game.
Ice. He almost dies. They're playing an attack. Zai gets him. They hold. Mega Creeps incoming, but Evil Geniuses will stand strong for now against EHOME.
A lot of people are calling it the single best Dota game they've ever seen.
The biggest stage, the steepest climb. Their backs to the wall. On August 10th, 2016, faced with incredible odds, Evil Geniuses refused to bow down. In the process, they made history at the International. EG were the defending TI5 champions, and with the exception of Zai in place of AUI 2000, had the same roster. With the International hosted in Seattle as usual, there was a sizable home crowd cheering for the North American squad as they played their upper bracket semi-final match against EHOME. But EHOME had fans of their own, and competing cheers rose from the audience as the two teams clashed. The draft saw EG put Fear's Axe into the off lane instead of Universe's Faceless Void. EHOME preyed on that lane in the early stages of the game.
He's got that whirling death. One more hit to do it.
Close. There it is. First blood for Fenrir. Out here, slowed down by the boar. Has another poison. It's up to 3 stacks, but doesn't look like it's going to be enough. A second kill going the way of EHOME. I don't think it's going to go well for Fear.
Oh, he took so much.
God. That whirling death, and now they're slowly ticking away. The Shadow Word will finish him off. A third kill for EHOME.
EG continued to slip further behind. At 17 minutes, all of EG's outer towers had been destroyed. EHOME sensed an opportunity to strike after securing Roshan and attempted to push into EG's base, but they held strong.
Now, that's Aegis though. He's going to come back up.
They've got Chrono available.
Tier 3 tower. The Chronos here is going to be able to lock him back in the moment he shows up. Now the Warlock drops a golem onto PPD and Samael, but already the Juggernaut's down. Response from EHOME, but now the call! Fear! He stops it right in the tracks. They're going to be able to take down 2, and a third falls from EHOME. Evil Geniuses, they see their moment now. They've got to get as many of these kills as possible to make the response from Fear well worth it. Samael chasing down Fenrir. He has EHOME. Ice is spotting with some damage, but he managed to get the war.
They were still in the hole. Though they managed to get some kills, they were behind by over 20,000 gold in net worth at the 46-minute mark. EG may have been down, but they weren't out yet. At 69 minutes, they tried to catch EHOME off guard, but the fight turned dramatically against them.
They take him out the left-hand side, Old 11. He gets hit by an Ethereal Blade, tagging as well. Still not enough. Starstorm, they get it. Finally, Aegis down. Oh my god, they've got Old Chicken as well. He has a buyback though, and here comes the second life of Old 11. He doesn't have a buyback just yet. Now, Ice.
Everybody coming back in for me.
Another buyback with the booster travel level 2. They're going on the universe. He's dead. 2 minutes on the clock. Samael, they need to escape with Samael. He can't make it go. Down for 2 minutes. He's been forced into a buyback as well.
With only PPD, Zai, and Samael alive to stop them, EHOME pushed into EG's base. They got the barracks. All of them. But EG made them pay dearly for it.
Hit this range track, that's going to be Megas, and they just killed PPD.
Nobody is. They know that this Void and this Axe can't help out.
If they can catch Samael or PPD, there's going to be another hero with no buyback. The disruption save from Zai. Can they get PPD out? He gets a force tap away, but no! The extra damage comes out from the Warlock as the Fatal Bonds eliminates him, but Zai! He almost dies. They're playing an dragon! Zai gets him! They hold! Mega Creeps incoming, but Evil Geniuses will stand strong for now against EHOME.
Still, now facing down Mega Creeps after losing the racks, the game looked grim. Mega Creeps do more damage, are harder to kill, and are worth less gold than regular creeps. EG were on a timer, and one that few players had defeated in professional matches.
EG, not a position you want to be in if you're an EG fan right now.
A comeback against Mega Creeps had never happened at the International. EG were now playing a different game than EHOME.
Revives. He's
EG, what are they looking for?
The initiation comes out on a fear. Refresher activated by Old 11. Not going to get the chance for a second Primal Roar. He's going to get blown up inside the chronosphere. He's down and out. Evil Genius is still 5 up. But here comes Dead on the slash. Bouncing around with the Shadow Demon. Hoping to be able to go on his eye. But an arrow! Oh my god! Samael just nailed him, but he still managed to get himself away in the back lines.
This Faceless Void though in the back.
He's now going to go for Old Chicken as well. BKB activated. And now he's going to run himself away. Universe says
these back lines.
EG turned back to deal with EHOME's Old Chicken, who was putting pressure on their base. But in the end, it was a victorious march up the middle lane for Evil Geniuses. Most of EHOME could not buy back, and they had only Warlock and Beastmaster to stand against EG. It wasn't enough. Even with victory so close at hand, the crowd could scarcely believe it.
Something like that. EG held on for so long.
It was only game 1 of the series, but the win had a disproportionate effect.
And after you win a game like that, it's impossible for EHOME to win the second game. You're so demoralized.
EG would move on to the next round of the tournament after taking game 2 as well. A reversal against Mega Creeps will always be special, but this game stands apart from the others. Not only was it the first time that it happened at the International, it showed an unprecedented resilience. EG essentially took body blows from EHOME for 70 minutes, but held on, battered and bruised. Then, in the final round, they saw an opening, grinned, and landed the knockout punch. It wasn't pretty, but for the North American home crowd, it was beautiful. It was a lesson that resonates still today. When your back is up against the wall, it just means there's no room to back down. As long as the Ancient stands, you have a shot. And sometimes, when you never say die, you don't.
The impossible comeback made possible by EG.
Thanks for watching. If you want more great content just like this, be sure to hit the subscribe button.